Okay, so the first thing I'm doing is I'm trimming down my papers. The first one there, I just trimmed a little narrow strip from a scrap piece, and I'm going to use that in just a minute, and you'll see how. And I'm going to trim a little section off of my paper because I want to use some laces, and I want them to actually look like they're kind of coming out of the layout, if that makes sense. I saw this on a very talented lady's blog on one of her layouts. Her name is Joyce, and she's super talented, and I just love the effect that that gave. So that's basically what I'm trying to mimic here. I'm just distressing up all the edges with my Prima Distress tool. I cannot create a single project without it. And now I'm just adhering the engraver papers down. And I'm using a couple of different color laces, a brown one, and then you'll see me use a deep green one on top of that. And I did this layout based on the Swirlydoos sketch this month, of course, but I also did it to coincide with the Prima product pick. They have at their blog every month, and this month the color scheme was greens and like a brownish type deep green color. So that is what I was going for, which is a stretch for me because green is not a color that I typically use, especially not a light green. So you'll see me sticking more to the deeper, richer greens on this, which is pretty much what I like. And I'm just using Fabri-Tac to adhere my laces down. I have a serious lace obsession, y'all. Now I'm just going to add my other sheet of paper over there to the side and kind of distress up the side of it a little bit with my fingers so that different links of the lace are showing through, if that makes sense. I just like everything to be really distressed and really shabby and grungy and not any clean edges to anything. I like things to look natural, I guess, if you will. And now I'm taking the mask from the kit this month, from the Technique kit, and it's the beautiful Prima Clock mask, and I just absolutely adore this mask, and I'm just using some stucco patch that you can get at Home Depot instead of modeling paste. This stuff is super cheap, and it's also very thick and very gritty, and I just like the texture of it so much more than the modeling paste. And I have a tub of it that will last you like almost a year. It just stretches really far. I'm using some shimmer sprays here. This one is an olive branch, and then I'll use a couple of different colors. I can't remember which ones I use, but I just kind of sprinkle them all on there a little bit, kind of flicking the tube and just spraying different colors on there in varying tones of green. And then one is like a turquoise, or I guess aquamarine-ish blue type color. And now I'm going down the lace with some gesso from the kit this month, just to kind of give it a shabby yet grungy type feel. And I'm taking that same gesso and just using my palette knife to just randomly scrape it onto there. I like to use negative space on my layout, but I don't like anything to be clean, if that makes sense. I like there just to be little details everywhere. Taking the engraver paper again and using it to fussy cut some of the clocks out. There's some different sizes of the clock elements on this paper, and I just absolutely love it when a paper line has different things you can cut out. I'm using some chippies here. These are from Imaginarium Designs, and I'm just gessoing them up. And then I'll use a Prima chalk edger, one of the Ingvild Bohm ones, and they're absolutely amazing. The one I will use is going to be the Worn Jean. It's a very soft blue tone, but it matches the greens and the color scheme of the Prima product pick really well this month. So I'm just randomly dabbing that on there, and then I'll go over it with a little bit more gesso again, just to give it some more texture and depth. And the sketch this month had 3 photos, so definitely wanted to incorporate that. And you won't see me putting the photos on here because I hadn't had them printed yet. But I just kind of split one photo into 3 sections and spread them out on there. And I'm using some leftover cardboard from a box that I got in the mail to pop these up off the page so they're not flat. I like things to be dimensional on my layouts, but I don't like to buy the pop dots and everything. I pretty much just use anything I have on hand, scrap chipboard, cardboard, anything like that. And when I'm doing my layouts, you'll see me just use a little bit of glue at first because I like to make sure everything is where I really want it to be before I fully adhere everything down. And then you can still kind of tuck things in there and move things around without worrying about it. So I'm just playing with my elements here, figuring out where I want them to go. And now I'm taking the bigger clock piece over there and adhering it down. And you'll see me a lot of times moving things around, just kind of playing with how I want them to go. I kind of edit most of that out because I don't want y'all to see me struggling, but I take a lot of things and end up, you know, leaving them out. Right there I've got some Prima Shabby Chic Metal Treasures from Ingvold Balm, and I get the little Wishing Well resin piece out at one point, but, you know, it's just about taking things out and seeing where you want them to go and then kind of going from there. This is a Prima Tendril spray, which is my absolute favorite spray that Prima has ever made. Unfortunately, I have 2 left in my stash and I cannot find them anywhere. I've been on like a mad search to find these, but they are gone. If anybody knows where to find them, please let me know. But this one is in a green tone, which was perfect for the color scheme I was going for. So I'm just curling the little tendrils with a branch, or with a with a paintbrush rather, and adhering it down with Fabri-Tac. And I did go over that with a little bit of gesso as well to kind of soften it up. You'll see me use a paper towel a lot when I'm dabbing, pushing things down into the glue, because A, it just doesn't get on your fingers, and then B, it kind of takes any excess glue out from around things as well. These are some of those pretty flowers from the Engraver kit, and I'm just tucking them in and out of my spray. They're the ones that you can pretty much manipulate and open up or close up, do ever, you know, shape them however you want to. Now I'm taking some natural elements. I'm using some Spanish moss, some little dried little sprigs. I will go to my yard and find branches or, you know, ivy pieces that are dried out and can be used. Anything natural that I can find and use on my projects, I love to do it, especially like the mosses and stuff. I think it really fills out the sprays that I tend to use on all my projects and gives it a really natural, earthy, organic type feel, and especially for this color scheme of this layout and the photo that I choose in the end, it just kind of went perfectly. So I love to use anything natural on my layouts and stuff. I wish that you could go pick regular flowers and they wouldn't die, because I'd love to use those on my layouts. And the little chippy over there says Forever. That's the title for my layout. I pretty much knew the photo I wanted to use, but like I said, I didn't. I was out of ink in my printer, so I couldn't print it out that day. Now I'm just taking one of the little Prima Mechanicals. It's the little metal metal flower, and I'm adhering it down with some Fabri-Tac. This is one of the Ingvold Balm resin pieces. It's the little window. It's absolutely beautiful. I love them so much, so I'm just tucking it into the side over there. Now I'm taking some black Venice lace from my stash. It's a very pretty floral type lace, and it's very long, so I'm just kind of weaving it in and out of my sprays. These were just scrap pieces that I had left over. I always save all of my lace scraps, no matter how small, and I will always end up incorporating them into a project eventually. And you'll see me always go in with gesso and just kind of dab everything on my layout to kind of soften it up. I'm adhering some little Engraver flowers down. They're the little grayish ones from the pack that you see me using right there. They're just pretty little rosebuds. And now I'm going to start adhering my little chippies down. When I do corner pieces, I tend to inlay them a little bit. I don't like them to be completely flush with the edge. And then, like I said, you'll see in the pictures the completed project with the photo, because I don't add it here. But I hope you guys enjoyed the start to finish process video. If you have any questions at all, just leave me a comment down below. And one last touch there, I guess, is I am adding one of the beautiful big flowers from the Technique kit this month. Super pretty, and I just gessoed it up. So that is it, y'all. Check out this Swirlydoos sketch, and I hope you decide to participate with us this month. Bye, y'all.